Unless you are living in a fairy tale, you would know how rough the past couple of months have been in the whole world. The world is healing, but it is not happening at a pace everyone expected because of the decline in economies globally. Prices of goods increase at an alarming rate, finite resources are slowly thinning out, and there is still a constant fear of other health-related risks threatening the global population. With all of these things happening, it is almost hard to accept that we are only at the beginning of it all. But what if that really is the case? What would become of the crypto community? Thank you for watching Diversified Streams, your go-to YouTube channel for all things crypto and finance. Be sure to check out our community post about these subjects. We are curious to know your opinions on these matters. Also, if you haven't subscribed yet, click the subscribe button so you don't miss out on the latest news and tips related to crypto. And make sure to keep your notifications on so you'll be updated with our latest videos. We frequently post so you wouldn't want to miss them. In today's video, we will be talking about a prediction coming from one of the most successful people in the industry of investments, and how he thinks a global depression is well on its way. We also have some updates in this space you might want to see, so be sure to finish this video until the very end. Stanley Drukenmiller is a billionaire, investor, and hedge fund manager who is viewed as one of the most established investors in the world. As a person mainly involved in the establishment of capital and investing in profitable avenues, he has a keen sense of how the market behaves. This is why when he said that in the next year, 2023, a global recession would be set in motion. In an interview with CNBC, Drukenmiller talked about why he thought this way. Here's a short clip from the interview. Let's check it out.
If we don't have a recession in 23, don't know the timing, but certainly by the end of 23, I will not be surprised if it's not larger than the so-called average garden variety. And I don't rule out, not my forecast, but I don't rule out something really bad. Why? Because if you look at the liquidity situation that has driven this, we're going to go from all this QE to QT. We're following an asset bubble. We've been doing all this running down on the SPR, which is now, that's the Strategic Petroleum Reserve. It's now below 84 levels, even though obviously oil consumption is much higher. We've had a bunch of myopic policies that have actually delayed the liquidity shrinkage. QT has been almost entirely offset by Janet Yellen running down the Treasury savings account. By the way, pretty amazing policy. She could have sold 10 years for under 1% during this time. Instead, she runs down the Treasury savings account. So all that has masked the liquidity shrinkage, but it really comes into full gear. And she can continue this for a while. We could do the SPR for a while, stimulative stuff. But by the first quarter of 23, it kind of goes the other way. So our central case is a hard landing by the end of 23. But I don't know. I've been wrong on a lot of things. I could be wrong on this, but since I do it for a living, that's our forecast, which is a recession in 23.
While Drukenmiller has ended this short clip with a reminder that he has made some mistakes with his forecast, it is not entirely dismissible given how the economy in general has been declining. The liquidity situation we are in right now is enough to make one of the most successful people in the world believe that we might be seeing a depression unfold. But this is not the only thing that he had made a prediction about, as Drukenmiller also said on the flip side that the cryptocurrency market could possibly be looking at a renaissance as the trust in banks continues to decline. From these two assumptions of Drukenmiller, you can see that there is not one bit of bias, as both the boon and the bane of our current situation is presented. An imminent global depression on one side, a major development for Bitcoin on the other. To expand on what he had predicted, it seems as though there is a trend showing how people have been losing their trust in central banks as a result of the decline in the global economy. As such, people are flocking towards a different platform to invest their money in, and it might just be Bitcoin or the whole of crypto they are looking for. Saying that there is a silver lining in all of what is happening in our economy might be a bit of a stretch. But what do you think about it, guys? Do you really think that we are on our way to a global recession in 2023? If that's the case, can we really hang on to that silver lining? Let us know what you think by sharing your thoughts in the comments below. Also, if you haven't subscribed to our channel and liked this video yet, now is the time to be doing so you will be a part of our growing community. Moving on with our updates, Chainlink is now set to develop a token tool for Swift. Just a quick understanding of who Swift is. They are considered as a caliber in terms of cross-border international payments. With this collaboration, Swift messages will now be able to carry out token transfers in its space, and ultimately tear down all those rumors about Swift falling into oblivion. To further understand this collaboration, Swift has announced a proof of concept that will give users the power to transfer crypto in virtually all blockchains, allowing Swift to instruct token transfer seamlessly on every blockchain there is. The partnership will also make use of Chainlink's CCIP, otherwise known as the Cross-Chain Interoperability Protocol. If you want to learn more about this collab, take a look at this short clip.
We're working on an initial proof of concept together with Swift on the use of CCIP. In the capital markets to enable the communications and movement of tokens between a number of different institutions in a way that'll accelerate the adoption of DLT blockchains and benefit various institutions all over the capital markets.
Not everybody is aware about Swift, but I will try to explain it very quickly. So Swift is a cooperative, is an international cooperative. We run perhaps the biggest network in financial services today for capital markets, for payments, for FX, for trade. We are headquartered in Belgium, although we have sort of operations everywhere. We have around 11,000 banks that are connected to Swift today. They exchange financial information in the most secure, reliable, and scalable way. All right, so that's one, just to frame it that. The second piece is that the POC that we're doing, it's the end of a long story, right? I think 5 or 7 years ago was the first time Swift and Chainlink started working together. You were actually one of the first startups that we bet on. You won the startup challenge that we used to have a long time ago. And then even before blockchain was something that financial services had in their minds, I don't think at the time nobody was doing anything on blockchain, on financial services. Swift and Chainlink worked together on the first POC that we did on bond issuance and redemption. It was quite successful, and that was maybe the first steps of this sort of love story between Swift and Chainlink, which continues today.
The applause in the beginning is a good sign that this collaboration is well received by the public, and with the amount of banks connected to Swift, we are expecting that this partnership will fuel yet another series of successful DLT blockchain adoptions across varying institutions. Up next, you'd be glad to know that Warner Music Group has now partnered with the biggest NFT marketplace in the world, OpenSea. This is another step taken towards the merging of two different industries and catering like-minded individuals in a different platform, and we love to see it happen. This partnership means that all of Warner Music's artists signed under the label will now have the ability to drop their own pages in OpenSea, making it a new avenue where they can communicate with their fans through their music. This is not the first time we've seen this in the music industry, as we had Universal Music Group partner with Cryo a few months back, so it is amazing to know that more and more industry giants are entering this space. The series of taking huge steps of advancements does not end here, as Circle expands its USDC stablecoin, now catering to an additional 5 new blockchains. While they only initially supported Ethereum, they have recently announced that they will be extending their support to Arbitrum, Cosmos, Near, Optimism, and Polkadot. This is yet another opportunity for this stablecoin to reach out to a lot of users, providing them easier access to a stable digital dollar. Of course, we cannot end this video without forgetting Cardano, which has just turned 5 years old. Since the Genesis block that took place 5 years ago, Cardano has shown immense growth and potential, cementing its place in the market as one of the largest blockchain networks in the world in terms of market cap. And that is it for today's video. I hope you found this video informative and helpful. As always, if you did, please show us some love and support by giving this video a big thumbs up and subscribing to our channel. And make sure to keep your notifications on so you will be updated whenever we post new videos on all things related to crypto. This has been Diversified Streams. Thank you so much for tuning in, and see you in our next video.